Hey, sorry, I switched to a different Wi-Fi. We'll see if that one helps for the cutting out. So anyway, I was saying there wasn't enough room on the line to write the check for 23,000 whatever because I didn't know to do that because I've never written a check that much. So this just my whole entire point for all of this is basically I was that girl that didn't even know how to write a check for $1,600 and I didn't know how to do that. And now I was that girl who writing a $23,000 check was oh, I didn't know how to do that. I had to fit it on the line. And it's not going to be long before I'm writing 100,000s in the line and being oh, how do you fit that in the line? I have to squish it in there. I've never done that before. And if somebody had told me just 5 years ago that I would have any kind of financial stability like this or ability to make this kind of money, and very clearly I know exactly how I'm going to make multiple six figures and be able to write those kind of checks. If somebody had told me that 5 years ago, I don't know what I would have done. I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have been able to register it in my brain. My brain couldn't handle those kind of numbers and that kind of world. And it seemed like this mysterious world out there. And so what I've been really focusing on is you're the people that I care about. I hear so many mentors and stuff telling me how do you pitch to high level clients to make all tons of money and this kind of stuff. And I get it. And I think everybody's free to do whatever the hell they want to do. But since I'm free to do whatever the hell I want to do, what I really want to do is support the new people, the people that were me, that are willing to show up and do the work, but just don't how do I make those multiple six figures? And how do I start making an income for myself? How do I make my business successful? How can I be a coach that stands out? How the freak do you do these things? And how do you have the kind of mindset that gets you to the place where you get these kind of results? Because all I know is the littleness that I've lived in, right? That is where my heart lies. That is what will get me up and out of bed and pushing through doing this. Not some kind of elite coaching for only elite people or something like that. I think it's a really incredible people that do that work because that's really needed. And I'm even drawn to mentors who do that kind of work, obviously, right? But it's not what lights me up currently. And I'm free to change my mind anytime I want to, but what currently lights me up is really the people who are I don't get how to do this. I'm feeling stuck. I feel like I'm doing everything and I'm trying to do all these things, but I can't figure out how to do this. I can't what the hell do you do, Mandy, that made you go from the place where you were to be able to make multiple six figures and write freaking $23,000 checks, right? So for me, that just feels yeah, of course I wrote that. I already knew that check was coming. I knew taxes, $40,000 in taxes. We knew that was coming. But when I remember for 12 seconds what that would have felt like to me 3 years ago, I'm yes, that's the people that I'm here to help. I'm here to help the women who are ready and willing to do something new and maybe do something a little bit scary and maybe push themselves to do something different and to actually try on the belief in worthiness that you're allowed to have the things that you long to have in your life and that you get to have those things. You get to have them. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. And there's really no other point to me hopping on this live today other than I just forgot. I wrote that check and I remembered what it felt like to write the $1,600 check. And then I remembered how it feels for the women who out there are still stuck and being I just don't get this. I don't understand how to do this. How do I get my coaching business going? How do I actually make money doing this? How can I change my mindset so that as I'm doing this, I'm not freaking out all the time and I'm scared and terrified of what it's going to feel like to be on the other side of this, right? We live day to day just feeling really scared and really anxious about how it's going to work and feeling like it's mysterious and we don't understand how to get to the other side. Right? I know what that feels like to feel scared and anxious about it and you don't know that it's going to work and how does this happen and it seems mysterious and it seems like some other people have it figured out but you just can't seem to figure it out, right? So that's what I'm here for. That's who I'm here for, right? So if you look through my feed, I do have, I'm offering a complimentary call. It's no strings attached, zero. It's just I know that there's women out there and there's some people who are ready to join us for the May group. And they'll join us and they're going to get powerful shifts and they're going to understand oh, this is how I make money in the business. This is how I stood out. This is how I did the thing. And there's some people that really they're just not ready to step into something like that. Right. And so I'm just aware of that and I love you. And you don't have to be ready for one of my programs in order for me to love you and support you. That's why I do the Facebook Lives. I do so much free trainings and I'm even offering this complimentary call for someone coming up, right? And I'm just going to intuitively pick someone. And for the rest of the people that are ready, Like, let's get excited about a $40,000 tax return requirement, right? Because what does that mean, right? And like, can we start energetically start opening ourselves up to what does it look like when I'm dealing with 5 and 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, when I'm dealing with those kind of numbers, and what is it going to take for you to actually shift yourself from the place of like the most I've ever written a check for was $400 or $1,000 to what will it look like when I'm writing out checks for 5 figures, right? And can you get yourself energetically in that space of like, is that possible for you? Of course, sister, that is so possible for you, and you get to have it. This isn't like a magical thing that just happens for some people. This is for you, and you have to claim it, and you have to step into it, and you have to opt into that and choose into it. Nobody's going to come along and save you or shove you or push you there or get you there. It's going to be something that you choose. You decide. I decide that no matter what, I'm going to get myself there. I'm opting into this life of freedom and this life of financial success. I'm opting to it, meaning I'm going to be willing to step in and do the work and do the stuff that's required for me to get there. And I'm going to trust if I feel a hell yes to something, I don't care if it's me or somebody else, when you're feeling a hell yes, like, okay, I'm feeling called to do that, but I don't know how it's going to happen. You're going to give into the but I don't know and blah, 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 or you're just going to step in and you're going to opt into having this, right? Because the truth is that other people are opting into it and they're going to have it. And if you don't choose to, then you're just going to have more of what you already have. And it only actually gets worse because there's a knowing that you could have had it and you're choosing not to and you're staying where you're at. And that sucks. And I don't want that for you. So I love you, and you can have this and you can do this. And all of creation is working for your good and conspiring for you to, it's like I heard it one time described as like, it's like a nightmare. I mean, like a horror movie. When you're watching the horror movie and the person's like walking down the stairs and you're like, don't go down the stairs. Don't follow the creepy music. Don't listen to the guy. Don't go around the corner. Don't answer the door, right? It's like in our life, we hear all these promptings like, yes, do that. No, don't do that. Don't touch that. Say no to that. Don't get in that relationship. Say yes to this program or that mentor. Like, join this, take up that opportunity, start this habit, go to that event, say no today, reserve, like, go rest today. Like, we hear these things and we just keep ignoring them. And it's just like a horror movie that keeps going on and on and on, right? So, like, are you going to keep living in the horror movie, or are you going to do something different today? And are you going to choose? Are you going to be one of the ones that chooses and opts into the life of freedom? And nothing is stopping you, and nobody's going to come make that choice for you. You get to make that choice for yourself, right? So I love you, and don't be discouraged because you're exactly where you need to be. This is exactly what it was always supposed to look like. And if you're here listening to this message, you were supposed to be here listening to this message. And yes, there is an opportunity. There's a step for you to take to go next in having all the things that you want. Oh, that's my alarm. I got a call to go on with my Facebook team. All right, guys, I love you so much. I'll post the link below for I know there's going to be some people out there that are ready. Like the January group, we're doing step-by-step business building, and we're keeping you on track with this mindset so that you're growing, expanding into the wealth mindset, because there is a way, there is a poor mentality for sure. And so we outgrow that and we get into this wealth mentality and start to like think the way wealthy people think so that we can continue to have wealth. And it doesn't just come in, but we actually keep it. Right? And then we do step-by-step business building and like getting out there doing the things that are required for your business to have success. If that's for you, I'll put the link below. If it's not, just be encouraged by this message. Whatever one small step you can take in your life is enough. Like, take one step, whatever that is, but nobody's going to do it for you, right? So this is just a call for you to actually take that step in your life. All right, love you guys.